All right, so you're prepping for an Optomechanical Engineering Technician interview.
Oh, wow.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Well, we are diving deep into some guides from RoleCatcher today
Okay.
to help you absolutely nail it.
Awesome.
They've got this platform that uses AI
Interesting.
to help people land their dream jobs.
Okay.
And it's perfect for a high-tech field like this.
For sure.
We're going to be looking at their career guide,
Okay.
an interview guide,
Gotcha.
both specifically for optomechanical engineering technicians.
Sounds good.
So let's get you equipped with the knowledge and confidence to knock their socks off.
It's a fascinating field, where engineering meets optics. You're not just building something.
Right.
You're building something that manipulates light with incredible precision.
Wow.
Think optical tables,
Okay.
deformable mirrors.
Oh, cool.
All these intricate components that go into cutting-edge tech.
Exactly. And this career guide breaks down what these technicians actually do.
Oh.
Collaborating with engineers, building prototypes,
Okay.
testing equipment.
Makes sense.
It's very hands-on, very detail-oriented.
That's a key point.
Yeah.
The guide emphasizes that it's not just about assembling parts.
Right.
It's about understanding how each tiny element contributes to the overall function and performance of the device.
I see.
That level of precision is what makes this role so crucial.
And the pros and cons section points out the huge demand for these skills.
Oh, yeah.
Industries like aerospace
Okay.
are booming,
Wow.
and they need skilled technicians who can work with these advanced optical systems.
For sure.
Plus, the guide mentions there's a lot of room for career growth,
Nice.
and the salary potential is pretty great.
Right. And to add to that,
Yeah?
the industry trends section highlights how this field is constantly evolving.
Really?
New technologies are emerging all the time.
Oh, wow.
Which means even more opportunities for skilled technicians like you. It's a dynamic field with a bright future.
Okay, so let's jump into the interview prep.
Right.
The guide has a whole section called Interview Prep. Questions to expect.
Okay.
And we're going to unpack some of the most common ones.
Gotcha.
Along with some potential follow-up questions they might throw your way.
Makes sense.
This is where RoleCatcher's AI can be super helpful.
How so?
It analyzes job descriptions to pinpoint the exact skills employers want.
Ah.
So you can tailor your answers to hit those key points.
Cool.
It's like having a cheat sheet for the interview.
And don't underestimate the value of that.
Yeah.
A lot of companies use software to scan resumes for keywords.
Really?
So using the right language is critical.
Oh, wow.
RoleCatcher helps you speak the language of these automated systems.
That's awesome.
Plus, their AI-powered video practice tool
Uh-huh.
lets you rehearse your answers and get feedback on your delivery.
Oh, cool.
Which is invaluable for making a good impression.
Okay, first question. What inspired you to become an optomechanical engineering technician?
Okay.
This one's all about conveying genuine passion
Yeah.
and highlighting relevant experiences, but with a laser focus
Right.
on the specific role.
Exactly.
Think back to the what they do section of the career guide.
Okay.
Tie your answer to those core responsibilities. Maybe you've always been fascinated by lasers,
Yeah.
but instead of just saying that, talk about how that led you to tinker with optics in your spare time,
Right.
building your own gadgets.
I see.
Show them you have the hands-on experience and initiative they're looking for.
That's a great point.
So instead of just saying,
Yeah.
I love lasers, you could say,
Hi.
my fascination with lasers led me to build my own optical devices, like a simple interferometer.
Cool.
But what if they follow up with,
Oh,
what was the biggest challenge you faced while building that interferometer?
Yeah.
And how did you overcome it?
that's a classic follow-up question.
Yeah.
Designed to assess your problem-solving skills,
Oh,
which are essential in this field.
right.
Always be ready to go a level deeper.
Yeah.
You could describe a technical challenge you encountered, the steps you took to diagnose the issue, and the solution you implemented.
I see.
Be specific and demonstrate your analytical thinking.
All right, next question.
Okay.
How do you ensure that your work meets quality standards?
Right.
This is all about attention to detail,
Yeah.
meticulousness, and a deep understanding of the demanding environment you'll be working in.
Remember the conditions section in the guide where they talk about working in clean rooms?
Right.
That's a crucial detail to weave into your answer.
I see.
It shows you understand the level of precision and cleanliness required in this field.
Okay.
You could say something like,
Yeah?
I'm meticulous about following established procedures. double-checking my measurements,
Okay.
and maintaining a pristine work environment to prevent contamination.
Love it. But they might push further and ask,
Oh.
can you tell me about a time you spotted a potential quality issue in your work?
Uh-huh.
What steps did you take?
Okay.
They want to see how you proactively address problems.
This is a great opportunity to demonstrate your problem-solving process and commitment to quality.
Right.
Describe a specific situation.
Okay.
Maybe you noticed a discrepancy in a design specification or a flaw in a component.
I see.
Walk them through the steps you took, analyzing the issue, consulting relevant documentation, and implementing a solution.
I see.
Show them you're not just following procedures. You're actively thinking about quality at every stage.
Okay, let's tackle one more question before we...
Actually, I think this is a good point to pause and really emphasize how RoleCatcher's AI can help with these types of questions.
Oh, okay.
Their platform can analyze the specific job description you're applying for and identify the keywords and skills
that are most important to that employer.
That's a great point. So you're not just giving a generic answer. You're tailoring it to the specific company and role.
And their AI-powered video practice tool can give you personalized feedback on your answers.
Oh, wow.
Helping you refine your delivery and make sure you're hitting all the right notes.
Okay, with that in mind, let's move on to the next question. This next one is all about staying current.
Oh, okay.
How do you keep up with new technologies and developments in the optomechanical engineering field? It's a rapidly evolving field.
Yeah, definitely.
So showing a commitment to continuous learning is key.
Absolutely.
The guide mentions resources like SPI, the International Society for Optics and Photonics.
SPI, but how does that actually translate into staying ahead of the curve?
Think of SPI as a hub for all things optics and photonics.
Okay.
They have conferences, journals, online courses.
Oh, cool.
All sorts of resources.
Where you can dive into the latest research.
Makes sense.
And connect with other professionals in the field.
I see.
You can mention specific publications you follow.
Oh, okay.
Like photonic spectra? Or online forums where you engage in discussions about emerging trends?
So you're not just name-dropping SPA, you're showing them you actively use their resources to stay informed.
Exactly. But what if they dig deeper?
Oh, okay.
And ask, can you tell me about a recent advancement in optomechanics that particularly excites you and why?
That's where your passion for the field really shines through.
Okay.
Be ready to talk about a specific innovation.
All right.
Maybe a new type of deformable mirror.
Oh, cool.
Or a breakthrough in laser technology.
Interesting.
Explain why it's exciting to you and how it might impact the future of the field.
Okay, let's shift gears to a question that focuses on your technical skills. What are some of the key skills you possess that make you a good fit for this role? This is your chance to highlight what you bring to the table.
Remember those key words. RoleCatcher's AI identified in the job description. Now is the time to weave them into your answer.
Okay.
The guide emphasizes technical skills, like proficiency with optical measurement equipment, attention to detail, problem-solving abilities, and teamwork.
So instead of just listing those skills, you need to bring them to life.
Exactly. You could say, I'm proficient in using interferometers and spectrometers to measure optical properties. I'm also highly detail-oriented and meticulous about following clean room protocols.
Wow.
See how that paints a clearer picture of your capabilities?
Yes. And what if they follow up with?
Okay.
Can you describe a situation where your attention to detail prevented a potential problem? They want to see those skills in action.
Have a specific example ready.
Okay.
Maybe you caught an error in a design specification that would have impacted the device's performance.
I see.
Or perhaps you noticed a contamination issue in the clean room that could have compromised the experiment. Describe the situation, the actions you took, and the positive outcome. Show them you're not just following procedures. You're actively thinking about quality at every stage.
All right, let's talk about problem solving.
Okay.
How do you approach problem solving in your work? This is a question that comes up in almost every interview.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's especially important in this field. Where precision and troubleshooting are key.
Think about your process. You could say, when faced with a problem, I first gather all the relevant information, whether it's from technical documentation, colleagues, or my own experience.
I see.
Then I systematically analyze the situation, break down the problem into smaller parts, and explore potential solutions.
Makes sense.
I'm always mindful of the potential impact of each solution, and carefully document my process for future reference.
That sounds incredibly thorough.
Thanks.
But what if they say, can you describe a time you had to troubleshoot a complex problem with an optomechanical device?
Yeah.
What steps did you take? They were looking for concrete examples.
Be ready to walk them through a real-world scenario. Describe the specific problem you encountered, the diagnostic tools and techniques you used, and the steps you took to resolve the issue.
I see.
The more detailed and specific you can be, the better. It shows them you have the hands-on experience and the analytical skills to tackle complex challenges.
Now let's move on to time management. A crucial skill in any role.
Definitely.
But especially in a fast-paced, deadline-driven environment like this one. They might ask, how do you prioritize competing tasks and deadlines in your work?
It's all about organization and clear communication. You could say something like, I prioritize tasks based on their urgency and importance, taking into account project deadlines and the potential impact of delays.
Makes sense.
I use tools like task lists and calendars to stay organized and ensure I'm meeting all my commitments. And I always communicate proactively with my team and stakeholders to keep everyone informed and manage expectations.
What if they want a concrete example that they could ask? Can you tell me about a time you had to juggle multiple priorities and how you managed your time effectively?
This is where a specific anecdote can really highlight your skills. Describe a situation where you had to handle multiple projects. Maybe a design modification, a series of experiments, and an urgent repair all at the same time.
Oh, wow.
Explain how you assessed the priorities, allocated your time, and successfully delivered on all your commitments.
We've talked about technical skills, problem solving, and time management. Now let's touch on a critical aspect of working in this field. Safety. The career guide mentions working with lasers and potentially hazardous materials. So interviewers are likely to ask about your safety practices.
Makes sense.
For instance, they might ask, how do you ensure your work is compliant with safety regulations?
This is about demonstrating your commitment to following protocols and your awareness of the specific regulations that apply to this field. You could say, safety is always my top priority. I meticulously follow established procedures, wear appropriate personal protective equipment, and ensure my workspace is clean and hazard-free.
Makes sense.
I regularly review safety guidelines and participate in mandatory training programs to stay informed about best practices.
That's great. But they might probe further and ask, can you describe a time you identified a potential safety hazard in the workplace? What actions did you take? They want to see you're not just following rules, you're actively thinking about safety.
Be prepared to share a specific situation. Maybe you noticed a faulty piece of equipment, a spill, or an unsafe practice. Explain the steps you took to address the hazard. Emphasizing your commitment to maintaining a safe work environment for yourself and your colleagues.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
But there's still more to come. Let's take a moment to regroup. And then dive into some questions that focus on your interpersonal skills.
Makes sense.
Which are just as important as your technical expertise.
Definitely.
In this collaborative field. So we've talked about the technical side, but now let's get into the human element.
The human side of things.
Optomechanical engineering technicians don't work in a vacuum.
Absolutely not. Collaboration is key in this field. You're constantly interacting with engineers, scientists, other technicians.
Makes sense.
Strong interpersonal skills are a must.
Which is why they often ask those tricky questions.
Like what?
Can you describe a time when you had to work with a difficult colleague or stakeholder?
Ooh, that's a tough one.
This one always makes me nervous.
Well, it's about showing you can handle conflict constructively. The key is to focus on the solution, not the personality clash.
I see.
Briefly describe the situation, but then Emphasize the steps you took to resolve the issue. And maintain a positive working relationship.
So instead of complaining about how difficult the person was,
Right.
you could say something like,
Okay.
we had different approaches to a particular task. So I made sure to understand their concerns, explain my perspective.
Yeah. And we found a compromise that met everyone's needs.
Exactly. It shows you're proactive and solution-oriented.
Okay.
And they might even follow up with,
Yeah.
what was the most important lesson you learned from that experience?
Ooh, good one.
It's a chance to highlight your self-awareness and growth.
Right.
You could say,
yeah.
I learned the value of active listening and clear communication in preventing misunderstandings.
Perfect. Now let's talk about teamwork.
Okay.
On a broader scale.
Yeah.
Interviewers love to ask about cross-functional collaboration.
For sure.
Especially in this kind of role.
Right.
A common question is, how do you approach collaborating with teams from different disciplines? The guide suggests establishing clear communication channels, defining roles and responsibilities up front, and focusing on building strong relationships.
Those are all great points.
Yeah.
You want to project the image of a team player who values diverse perspectives.
I see.
You could say, I believe in open communication, frequent check-ins, and clearly defined roles to prevent confusion.
Makes sense.
I also make an effort to connect with colleagues on a personal level.
Right.
To build trust and rapport.
But they might ask for a specific example, right?
Yeah, probably.
Like, describe a successful project where you collaborated with a cross-functional team, highlighting your role and the challenges you overcame.
That's your time to shine.
That's right.
Think of a project where you worked effectively with engineers, scientists, or other technicians.
Okay.
Describe your contributions, the obstacles you faced as a team, and how you worked together to achieve a positive outcome.
Wow, we've covered so much ground today.
Yeah, we have.
I feel like anyone listening to this deep dive has a serious advantage.
For sure.
Going into that Optomechanical Engineering Technician interview.
I think so.
We've equipped them with insights from the career guide, practical strategies for tackling tough questions, and reminders about how RoleCatcher's AI can fine-tune their approach for specific companies.
Exactly.
Remember, RoleCatcher can analyze those job descriptions and highlight the exact skills employers are looking for.
A really powerful tool.
Plus, their AI feedback on your practice answers can be a game changer.
Absolutely.
Now, as you prepare, take a moment to envision yourself 5 years down the line.
Okay.
The career guide talks about different career paths.
Right.
Maybe you're a senior technician leading complex projects, or even mentoring new team members.
I like it.
That's a great thought to end on.
Yeah.
Visualize your success.
For sure.
And use this interview as a stepping stone to get there.
I love it.
Good luck, you've got this.